living legend, the one you tell all your friends. Hey, I don't need to know your name. I don't need to know your name. You don't need to know my name. You don't need to know my name. No, I don't need to know your name. No, I don't need to know your name. What? You don't need to know my name. You don't need to know my name. Get that. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Just hit me up. Don't need frames. Just hit me up.
Cows! You do realise that the breeding of cows is like the #1 cause of deforestation?
What? I don't like the spelling of your name.
Right, I'm gonna go and check us in. Are you coming?
Why do you guys all just look the same?
What's the Wi-Fi code?
There isn't any Wi-Fi.
I was perfectly fine at home, but Mum insisted.
You spend all your money.
Where's my dead Jesus jumper?
You can be gay and,
Here we go.
look like a girl.
Why can't I just do what I want to do?
Because it changes every 5 minutes. That's why. Like your hat.
Like normal.
Thanks. I'm Isla, by the way.
AJ. They all look so happy, like they exist in some parallel universe.
What is wrong with you?
I'm 17, everything's wrong with me.
I've never seen anyone wear so many clothes to the beach.
Girls like you always have boyfriends.
Girls like me.
Why can't you just say it? Say what?
AJ, please. AJ. AJ, wait!
I knew you'd ruin this holiday for everyone. You always do. Life is not fun all the time.
I like you a lot.
This is your holiday too, you know. You're allowed to enjoy yourself.
Sometimes I have no idea who I am.
The thing about being on holiday, you get to be whoever you want to be.
All I know is things are different now.
What's the plan and what are you thinking of doing?
Indonesia.
Indonesia?
There's a charity out there you can volunteer. You knit jumpers for elephants.
Hi there, my name is Spiro Economopoulos and I am the Program Director for the Melbourne Queer Film Festival. And what you just saw was a trailer to Sweetheart, which is screening as part of MQFF 31. This is a really fantastic film and I'm really excited for MQFF audiences to discover it. The film recently actually won the Audience Award at the Glasgow Film Festival, and it also won the Best First Feature at Inside Out Toronto, and lead actor Nell Barlow, who plays AJ, won Best Performance at Outfest. And we're very, very lucky to have Nell joining us to chat about the film. So let's bring Nell into the stream. Hello, Nell.
Hi, Spiro. You're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Well.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. It's really very exciting. I'm very excited for MQFF audiences to discover this film. I think it's a really great kind of coming out film, and I think in particular with queer film festivals, we see these stories quite a bit, and it's just so refreshing to see one like this, which is really beautifully made and written and acted. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I really am so happy to be here, and thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm so excited that our film is premiering at Melbourne Queer Film Festival. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. Yeah, and in cinemas amazingly as well. So which is exciting for us. So
yeah, that's super cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to quickly kind of start off by asking you. So this is your first major role, basically, debut feature role, but it was also director Marley Morrison's debut feature as well, which is really incredible. And I was really curious to know what that was like for both of you, kind of working together on a feature project, which was both your first times. Was that exciting? Was it scary?
That's a great question. I think I didn't really think about it that much when it was happening. But then I think a lot of people have highlighted it up, post making the film, and actually thinking about it now, I never fully appreciated actually what a special sort of experience that was, because I think Marley put her trust in me as like a first time actor, and I obviously worked for her. And I think it was just nice that we kind of both went into it together,
Mm.
kind of feeling out this kind of new thing. And yeah, I guess I'll always feel grateful that she put her trust in me to do that.
Yeah.
And we're great friends. And yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have known it was Marley's first time, if you know what I mean, because she's so
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
and professional, and is so engaging with the actors and the crew that you would never have guessed, I suppose, that it was her
Mm.
her first feature.
Yeah. I think it must have been great for both of you because obviously, it being the first time for both of you, you created your own rules essentially in terms of how this can kind of work as a collaboration, and
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like it was it was it was brilliant. Sorry, that's not a very helpful thing to say. Like it was brilliant, but it really really was. And
yeah,
uh, I think to have Marley's have it to have the film as both of our first features, I think was is a really kind of special thing to happen.
yeah, absolutely. And actually, I was reading somewhere that Marley based quite a bit of it. Actually, it's not necessarily autobiographical, but
Mhm.
a lot of the experiences are kind of drawn from Marley's personal, sort of upbringing. And I was really interested to know for yourself as an actor, knowing that, kind of going into that, was that a help or a hindrance in terms of like getting that performance together, or how did that sort of play out for you in terms of shaping that character?
It was definitely a help. It wasn't a hindrance because the character and the story is loosely based on Marley, but AJ kind of exists in her own world because she's kind of this generation TikTok environmentally conscious sort of 17-year-old. So I
Mm.
suppose in many ways I just thought about AJ and how AJ sort of worked really. I think that the positives, I mean, they were all positives, but the main positive I think about having it based on Marley loosely is that I think Marley had this whole sort of wealth of information about AJ,
Right.
and about I suppose how AJ would be feeling in different moments of the film. And so it was quite nice to touch base with Marley, and I think, and also like in the lead up to the film, like in the preparation of AJ, I had lots of questions and I could just fire them off. And Marley would gladly answer back and just be like, "Yeah, I think that she would feel like this," or or I think that she, um, I don't know. Like I would ask, what do you think AJ's a big? Do you think AJ's got a much experience of alcohol? And Marley would be like, not really. Like I think maybe she would sort of where she could, she'd probably like experiment or something like that's a really bad example. But
Yeah,
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 basically Marley was this kind of fountain of information that I could go to and use, and
yeah,
actually I don't think many actors get to have that. I think most of the work is done yourself. So to have
yeah,
that kind of extra help is quite
yeah.
unusual.
And did it still allow you to bring your own? I guess I mean, like any kind of performance, or you're drawing on your own
Mhm.
experiences and your own sort of
Mm.
teenage past, and did that still allow you to kind of do that in a certain respect as well?
Definitely, definitely. Like I had to make my own decisions, and I think I can't remember how old I was when I did that because it's been 2 years because of COVID, but I was like 23 or 24 when I made it, and I suppose it's not that far away from feeling like a teenager, I guess. I mean, it is, but it's not, and I
Yeah,
think, um, I don't know, there were many things about AJ I could relate to, and I think, like, one being and I've said this in a few interviews, but I think it's, like, the most sort of yeah, I guess the most potent feeling of AJ's that I could kind of relate to is that kind of intensity of feeling and
yeah,
emotion, and like having very very intense opinions and feelings about certain people and not really knowing how to deal with it. Those kind of, I think that when you're sort of 16, 17, and you have those really really big crushes on people and you don't know if they they have the money back, and it kind of consumes you. It consumes your whole life, and nothing else seems to matter. And it's all kind of leaning on this kind of. It's all hinging on this one person, and whether that's going to work. And I think that was sort of, for me, that was the most relatable. And I guess the relationship with my mum, actually, and being so irritated by my family, and kind of, I mean, that's a very generalized answer for you, but I suppose that the feelings I could sort of feel, if that makes sense.
I totally get that. It's always interesting looking back on films that are about teenagers and sort of forgetting that your own experience was totally like that. I was like, oh my God, I was completely like that in some way.
I know. It's like you kind of have to reject your family, I think, in a way, and
Yeah.
then come back to them.
I feel like I've done a lot of apologizing to my mother since then. But
Oh my God, I know. I'm really sorry that I did that.
I know.
She's like, it's fine. It's fine.
Actually, and speaking of your mother in the film, Joe Hartley, and actually all the cast, to be honest with you, it's a really fantastic cast. You know, Sophie DiMartino, who people might actually know now from Loki, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Your love interest, Ella Ray Smith. It's a really excellent ensemble cast, and when I see films like that where there's obviously chemistry between the actors and there's like family dynamics that are really kind of popping. I was kind of curious as an actor, what do you do to prepare for that? Like, is there a lot of rehearsal involved in that, or is just a lot of, is there something that's sort of happening that's not even about rehearsal even?
I think we did. Well, Marley likes to work a lot with improv.
Right.
So we'd improv a lot to get into a scene.
Yeah.
So that would be something that we would do. And I think actually, some of the big scenes we did rehearse, in the sense that on the set, because we were filming in a caravan park, we all basically lived together. We did live together. There's no basically about it. We did. And so I think a couple of times, as I remember, we would sit in someone's caravan and just go over and over the scene and the lines, just to get the lines. I mean, Marley wasn't very sort of, what's the word? Marley wasn't very kind of strict on us sort of knowing all the lines, in the sense of, she didn't want it to be kind of us to recite the script perfectly. She loves improv and working around that and making, it was all kind of loosely. A lot of it was, she was like, you can kind of go off where you want with it, and if you sort of feel like an impulsion, you can. But I think some of the big scenes, as in some of the arguments, it was, we did rehearse a lot, like kind of getting the lines and making sure that we had all the beats there and all that stuff. So it was kind of a combination. And we did some improvisation before we started, but that was, I think, over 2 days, where we basically, Marley like had different situations, and we had to sort of improvise around them. So Sophie's there, my sister, and Steve, Sam, her boyfriend, and Joe, and so that was really nice to work with them and meet them before.
Okay, and was that actually, because I have to say that the dialogue is really fantastic in the script. So it's interesting that you're talking about there's that kind of improvisational element to it, because it's really, really true.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The improv is quite like scarce in the film. I mean, most of what you'll see in the film is the script, but there is this nice, because there's the odd thing that someone says when you know that that's just come out their mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's really great. Was there anything in the script there when you first read it where, I guess, when you're reading a script for the first time and it's all new information you're getting, was there something in the script in particular that kind of scared you, like knowing that you were going to be doing that scene and you're like, oh God, I'm really nervous about doing that?
How am I going to do that? Oh, that's a good question. I guess I was a little bit nervous about all AJ's facts. There was more in. I mean, there obviously a lot of the film gets cut. That thing about things going on the cutting room floor, like loads of the scenes we didn't make it. So I think I was quite nervous, because she kind of goes off on these long kind of tangents, not tangents, but like these kind of, she kind of fires off these facts and kind of gives kind of an opinion on. So I think I was quite nervous about that, about making sure I understood those facts.
Yeah, right.
And like
Okay.
I was, because I'm not a very scientific person myself. Like I did really bad at science in school, and it's really not my thing. So I think I was actually quite nervous about making sure that that was going into my
Yeah.
conscious somewhere, and getting that right.
Have you, I mean, have you managed to be able to, I'm kind of curious, like with, people releasing sort of films over the last couple of years, and, it's your first time, and this is something that's happening during like a global pandemic. And I was actually wondering whether if you actually had a chance to see it on the big screen at least, or, been to
I
festivals.
have. I
Oh,
have. I
great,
saw it
great.
with my dad and my stepmom in
Yay.
Finsbury Park,
Oh, that's
and
excellent.
it was amazing because there was no one there. We went at like 8 in the evening, and I took them out for dinner first, which was nice, and then we went in, and I think there was like 3 people, and there's like and us. There's like 6 people, including us at the cinema. But I just watched it. I felt so proud of everyone, and it was such a weird sort of. So yeah, of course, I've obviously seen the film before. I paid for my ticket. I went in there. I
I love
sat on like the 6th row or something, and then
that.
just sort of,
Yeah.
did it all proper.
Awesome. Oh, that's good. That's good to know because I think, yeah, talking to a lot of filmmakers over the last couple of years, it's been like, oh, I've just been online doing this whole thing, and so that's nice. I'm glad you got to see it on the big screen anyway.
Yeah, I did. But all the interviews and stuff have been online, but yeah, like to see it on the big screen has been really like that was
Fine.
a special moment.
Can you talk a little bit about what you've got coming up next? Have you got any projects that you're currently developing or going to be playing in, or?
So nothing I can talk about, but I have a film that well, it went to Cannes the last Cannes that's just happened, and in 2021, and it is a animation film directed by Ari Folman,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which I'm really proud of, and I'm looking forward to like people seeing. And it's called Where Is Anne Frank, and it's basically there. It's sort of it's an animation film, and I mean it's about so many things, and it's for so many people. But I think it's what I like about it is it's sort of teaching YA, like young audiences, about the Holocaust and drawing parallels to now. And it's a beautiful film, and it's beautifully made. And yeah, I'm very excited for that to kind of come out into the world.
Fantastic. Wow. Well, look, Nell, I won't keep you too long, so I'll.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
lovely to
Thank
chat.
you so much for joining me. And again, like I said, I'm really thrilled that we're getting to actually screen this in the cinema, and I think our audiences are going to really love it. In fact, actually, I just jumped online now as I do and obsessively check our sales, and I can see Sweetheart is already kind of, you know, resonating with our audience, so to speak. So I'm really excited.
Wow,
So,
that's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, and yeah, hopefully you can get down here sometime as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm that will be one of my first things to do when
Wonderful.
when this all kind of lifts.
Same, same. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
All right, well, you take care, and
Yeah,
we'll talk
you
soon. And
too.
thank you again. Sweetheart is screening as part of MQFF 31 from November 18th to 29th, so check it out. Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.